Well guys, we got another mini drone crusher to test out today. And now we've been testing a lot of these out lately, and a lot of them have been performing really well. I don't think this is going to be an exception either. I think we've got one that could be another winner. All right, well, we're pulling into one of my favorite spots to fly. We're going to come in here and we're going to go to the left, and we're going to find ourselves some privacy. And there's nobody here working on the yard today, so it could be nice and quiet. Last time we were here, there was this tractor mowing the grass, and it was pretty loud. I think we're just going to sit under this shade tree, and we're going to pop ourselves a squat. You guys ready to see what we got? We got this. Ugh. You ever heard of Gleesfun? Well, I thought that we picked a less windy day to fly today. It doesn't look nearly as bad as it was last week when we flew Dwight, but we still have some wind going on. It's weird, but according to air data, we've only got 8-mile-an-hour winds. It seems like it's a little bit stronger than that. You think you're going to be up to this challenge? I'm sure that you guys are like me, and none of you have really heard of Gleesfun before, but this is the Gleesfun G11PRO drone. Now this drone does weigh over 250 grams. I weighed it out at home, and I think it weighed out at 354 grams if I'm not mistaken, including the battery. So this is a drone that here in the US you'll have to get registered with the FAA, whether you're flying recreationally or whether you're flying commercially. Well, fortunately, this drone is equipped with built-in remote ID, so you will be compliant with the FAA once you get it registered. I know we've had this discussion before, and I know a lot of you guys don't want to be bothered with registering a drone, but honestly, it's not really that big of a deal. You go onto the FAA drone zone, you spend $5, and then you're registered for 3 years with your drone. The coolest part is if you're using this for commercial purposes like we are, you can write that off in taxes. All right, guys, well, let's take a look at this box and see what it's got. Now this drone, it has a 3-axis brushless gimbal, like a lot of the drones nowadays, but it's got a Sony camera that's got it records in 4K 30 frames per second video, and it also has 6K photo capability. The range on this thing is supposed to be 10,000 feet, which is really close to 5 miles, I think. And then of course it's got some super long lasting batteries. It's supposed to have, it comes with 2 batteries, and they're supposed to have 35 minutes worth of flight time each. So 70 minutes of flight time total with these 2 batteries. I think that's long enough for anybody to want to take a break. All right, guys, well, let's go to the back of the truck. We'll get this thing unboxed. I'll show you what all it comes with. Remember this? All right, let's get this stuff out of the box here. Look at this nice case that it comes with. All of these budget drones, or all these less expensive drones, they seem to come with really nice cases. We'll leave that over there so you can see it. I need to adjust this camera. I don't know if you guys can even see. There we go. How's that? It looked like you guys were on a tilt there for a second. But anyway, unzipping this case here, I'm going to pull out the 2 batteries that it comes with. So it comes with 2 batteries, like I said, 35 minutes of flight time apiece. It comes with, whoops, I'm going to start losing things because it is a little bit windy. It comes with this really neat controller, but check out this cover that comes on this controller. You got to take this really neat protective case or cover off. So I kind of like that. I want to keep that. I'm going to use it for something else. I'm not sure what though. Well, taking a closer look at the controller here, it looks like a really nice solid controller. You pull this open, you got the cord here for your phone. Now again, I've already had to take this out of the box so I can get it registered with the FAA for this flight. So that's why everything's unpacked. But anyway, it comes. I've already got the cord in there, but it really does feel like a really solid controller. And of course, it comes with the sticks that are stored in this little section down here on the bottom. Should I do it again? I'm going to take the left stick and put it on the right, and the right stick and put it on the left. Never really seems to make much of a difference, but one of these days, I think it's gonna matter. All right, get on there. So we got the controller, we got the batteries, and now this, guys, is the drone. Take a look at this. Tell me this isn't a cool looking drone. I like the green color a lot. You guys like that green color? I don't know if it's even showing up in the camera, but this is a green color. Kristi said that this is probably not a good drone for me just because it's green and it's going to blend in with the surroundings whenever I crash it into the trees. She's probably right on that, but it really does look like a solid drone. I'll take the gimbal cover off here. And inside the gimbal cover, it's pretty neat. It's got a piece of styrofoam in there to protect the camera. And there's that Sony 4K camera that it comes with. And it's definitely got a 3-axis gimbal that goes sideways that way, and then up and down. So this is a true 3-axis gimbal that should be gathering, or should be able to, I don't know what just fell over, but it should be able to really get some good 4K footage. Nice and smooth, hopefully. Hopefully we can go for that cinematic look on this drone. You guys all know that I'm a horrible drone pilot, So if I'm able to get this drone up in the air and get some nice cinematic footage, you know it's going to be a winner. Well, delving further into this case here, if you unzip this pouch here, it comes with 2 charging cables. These are USB-C to USB-C for your batteries, and you've also got to use one of these cords to charge your controller. Now, with all these drones, I always say I wish that they would give us the same amount of cords as we have things to charge, because these batteries take a long time to charge. I think it takes up to 3 hours to charge these batteries, and this will take over an hour and a half. I don't know why they can't just include an extra cable. But anyway, here's all your other cables for your phones. They got USB-C to USB-C and also a micro USB. These are for different phones and devices. And then of course you get your trusty user manual, which I did kind of look through this earlier, but I'm going to have to look through it again before I fly today so I know what I'm doing. And then lastly, you get a set of propellers and you get a screwdriver. Oh, there are some extra sticks. You do get an extra couple or an extra pair of sticks and some screws. Look at all this stuff. Now I got to put it all away. Well, taking a closer look at this drone here, right here's the SD card. I put in an SD card. I've got what do I have here? I have a SanDisk 128 gigabyte SD card. That's probably not even going to focus, but I'm going to hold it up there anyway. But that just slides right into this slot right here into the side of the drone, and you should be able to get some really good footage with that. Now here's the battery, pretty cool looking battery. Again, it's got a label right here, and anytime that I have any of these drones, I remember labels up, and that's usually the orientation to put the battery in. Then you just push the battery in like this, you hear a click, and then you know that the battery is in there secure. You got to make sure that you hear that click, because if you don't hear the click, it might not be secure, and whenever it's flying around vibrating, this battery could fall out. Then you could lose your drone. Nobody wants that. Well, one of the features that this drone has that I'm really kind of excited about is cruise control. Now, if you guys have watched our channel for any length of time, you know that cruise control has easily become one of my favorite features. And that's one thing that somebody like me that's a horrible pilot can really take advantage of. But also, in this book here, it's got all these other things that are listed as features as well. It's got some AI features, or some intelligent features. All right, guys, well, I think that we've covered everything about this drone that we need to cover. I think it's time to set this thing up and go for a test flight. I just want to test a couple of things today. I want to test out the signal strength. I want to make sure that the transmission doesn't screw up whenever you go, I guess 1,500 feet like we normally do. But also I want to check out the return to home and see how accurate it is on that. But the one thing that I really want to test out is I want to see how easy this is to fly to get cinematic footage, because I need as much help as I can get. And from what I understand, this drone's supposed to be very easy on the sticks. And pushing these sticks back and forth, they really seem like they are going to be smooth. Looking forward to that. I guess I need to go get my phone. Hey, look, I got my phone. Now, I do have to take the phone out of the case like I do with most of these drones in order to get it to fit in the controller, but that's not really a big deal. I've gotten used to having to do that. I know there's some remedies to that. All I got to do is probably use a Dremel tool and cut a little hole in that, but I'm lazy. All right, guys, let's get all set up here. All right, let's see. I think we'll put the mat right here. How's that? Is that going to work? That's where we're heading. I'm going to pull something out here that I don't normally use, but I think I need to. Whoops, Kristi must have put this away because it's all strapped together. Y'all think that looks comfortable? Well, guys, I mentioned this in last week's video. This is one of those budget drones that is kind of different, because in order to turn this drone on, the sequence of events that they want you to take here is they want you to turn the drone on first, and then the controller, and then once they link up, they want you to turn the app on. So normally you're supposed to turn the controller on. Well, not this one. Gleesfun's made it interesting. So let's get this drone turned on. You just have to long hold the battery button. It'll make that noise right there. And you can set it down and you can walk away and forget it. And with the controller, all you got to do is push the button once and it wakes it up. You can't see it because of the sun, but then you push the button again and it'll turn the controller on. And now that 3 beep in there, that means that it's trying to communicate with the drone. It's trying to connect. Now, this could take up to 90 seconds, so it could take a while, and that beep is kind of loud and annoying. So we'll just kind of skip to when the drone and the controller are connected. All right, that one long beep means that the drone and the controller are now connected, and I can open up the Gleesfun app. Let me hit screen record here. There we go. And now we're on to the Gleesfun G11PRO Fly app. I haven't really flown this thing yet, but I guess I need to hit start fly. or start flying. And it's going to come up with a cartoon or a demonstration. I don't really want that. How do I get out of that? Whoops. How do you get out of that? X. There we go. All right, I'm going to X out of that. Now look, we've already got a FPV feed, which that looks pretty good. The gimbal control is on the right-hand side, so I'm going to pull the gimbal up. I just pushed it down. Man, that does look pretty good. It doesn't go above 0 degrees, though. It doesn't go up to like 20 degrees or anything like that. It stops at 0 degrees. But look how blue the sky is. That looks pretty good. All right, let me pull my chair over here so I can have a little bit better, or be more comfortable. I'm gonna wipe my knee off. All right, so looking at the app here, let me make sure that I got the screen as bright as it'll go. But looking at the app here, it looks pretty interesting. It doesn't look like there's anything out of the ordinary. It's got the distance and all that stuff at the very bottom, and at the top, it's got all of your different batteries and things. Like the controller is at 98%. The drone battery is only at 93%. I just charged these things up today before I come out here too, so I'm not sure why it's only at 93%. It should be at 100. So I'm gonna go up here to the top and hit the 3 dots. I think it's gonna have us in beginner mode. No, it doesn't have us in beginner mode. So the return to home altitude is, oh, this is in meters. So I wanna go, how do I change it to imperial? Other, let me hit other. And we're gonna put it in imperial, we're gonna put it in inches. Scrolling down here, I don't think this is really anything of importance. Let's go back to the parameters. So now we've got a flight distance of 10,000 feet. We're gonna scratch that. We're gonna go to, I don't know, we need to change it to 1,500 feet. But it doesn't display the distance as you're dragging the dot. So you just kind of gotta guess, I guess. So we're gonna set that at 1,650 feet. Flight altitude, we can max that out at 393 feet. The return to home altitude, 164 feet is good. We don't really need it that high here, I don't think, but we're gonna keep it at that. And then the interesting thing here is you can record in different things. You can record in 2K50, 2.7K30, which I kind of like that. 2.7K50, and then the best that it's got is 4K30. And the photo scale, everybody knows I don't know anything about the camera stuff, so as far as these settings go, I have no clue. But I do like this auxiliary grid, so I'm gonna hit the bullseye in the middle, or the hash mark in the middle, so we know what the drone's looking at. All right, let's go back to the main screen. I'm kind of blown away at how good that screen looks. The picture quality is really nice. It looks like they may have spent some time on this fly app to make it really user-friendly. So let's go back to the fly app and go on over here to the left. That little dot right there means, oh, that's the one-shot takeoff, so we'll get out of that. Let me X out of that. How do you X out of that? Stop the motors. I want to go down here to the middle thing. I'm not sure what I just did. I wonder if that's night flight. Well, that might be the home point. So then we'll go, there's all your smart settings, or your intelligent features, the GPS mode or GPS follow, the start around, route planning, split screen, night mode. It's a lot of different options in here. Let's get out of that. I think there's no better time than now than to get this thing started, and we can do a stability test, and then we can go for our signal test and see how it does on real transmission time, I guess, on what it looks like. I'm having trouble talking again today. All right, I pulled my chair out of the way. And the way I'm gonna start this drone, I'm just gonna pull the sticks together. And I'm gonna just pull straight up on the left stick. And we'll just get him hovering right there in front of the camera and see how steady it is. I'm telling you what, that looks like it's a pretty steady drone. Check that out. Oh, he's starting to sink. Come on, buddy, why are you sinking? It's not because it's windy. He's having a little bit of sinking issues. But overall, I think it's pretty stable. Let me raise him up a little bit more here. It is getting a little bit windy again. Got a couple of gusts that just came through. But I want to pull on his leg and see if he's going to find his home spot, or find his hover spot again. He's starting to raise up now, and now he's starting to sink. I'm just going to try to hold the camera still here so you guys can see how much he's moving around. Whoa, he's coming right at me here. Having a little bit of problem. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a good tug on his leg there. Why is he going up so high now? Come on, man, settle down. I'm having trouble keeping him in the camera view while I have to keep backing up and I'm gonna hit the truck. Now let's go to the screen view right now. The screen looks pretty steady, and it looks like he's settling down quite a bit here. Let me lower down just a little bit here and get in front of the camera. I'm getting in front of the GoPro here so you guys can again see how he looks. But he's got his stability. I think he's got his legs under him now. But I'm just gonna reach up here. I'm gonna push on him and see what he does. How stable are you, my man? Oh, that was kind of weak, wasn't it? Let me pull you this way. Are you gonna find your spot again? Yeah, he returned to his spot. That's not bad. I think he's, like I said, he's finally got his bearings, which is good. So, let's do this. Let me raise him up in the air. We'll go probably 75 feet or so up in the air. And we'll see how good the, let me pull the camera down just a little bit. And we'll see how good the signal is. So let me come over here into the shade so I have a nice view of this screen. And I'm just gonna fly straight. We're down to 85% on the drone, or on the battery of the drone. So I'm gonna just fly straight forward. And we're gonna see how fast he goes. And we're gonna see how good the signal strength is, see if he loses transmission. Let me raise up a little bit more. It feels like it's quite a bit windier here right now than it was. There is an airplane over there, but he's pretty high. So we'll go, say 100 feet up in the air. We're 290 something, or 300 feet out now. We're going 13.5 miles an hour. I'm assuming that we're in like a normal mode, or I'm sorry, like a cine mode. Raise up just a little bit more because those trees do look like they're a little bit low. Let me go up to like 120 feet. So far the transmission's perfect. I don't think that there's any problem whatsoever with the transmission. So we're still going about 12 miles an hour and we're 780 feet out. Do you guys see how clear that transmission is? I'm going to stop here at 800 feet and I'm going to record this. I'm going to go to video. I'm going to get some, is it recording? I don't know if it's recording or not. But he's hovering there perfect. He's not moving at all. And the footage so far looks really good. Let me see here. Let me go up to the, I'm gonna, I guess, what do they call that? Format this card. And I'm gonna try this recording again because I didn't see any, I didn't see that it was counting up or anything. I don't know if it's recording or not. Could be, but there's nothing to say that it is. That's strange. All right, well, if we have a recording of it, we have a recording of it, but if we don't, then I guess we're out of luck. Let me pull the gimbal up a little bit. We are still 885 feet out. Let me go to 1,500 feet. The signal strength has been perfect so far, and the feed has been perfect so far. And he does look like a pretty big drone out there still. Like, I'm glad that he's over 250 grams because I can see him really easily. I can look away from him and I can glance down to the controller. I can look back at him and I don't lose him in the sky. So we're 1,300 feet out, give or take. It's still, so far, we've had a great signal and no problems at all. So this is looking promising, guys. So we're almost to that 1,500 foot mark. I think I got it, what did I say, 1,600 feet? And I can still see him out there. He's getting smaller, but I can still see him. So I think that we've made it out to 1,600 feet here, and I think that we've proven our point that the signal strength on this drone seems pretty good. So let's do this. Let me hit the return to home button. I'll show you guys on the screen where it's at. There's the return to home button on the controller. I think all you got to do is just push the button and hold it, and then she's going to say return to home. Raises up to whatever distance or whatever height you've got it set at, and it'll turn around and come home at whatever speed it comes back. It looks like it's going to come back faster than it went out there at. So far, we're at 18.5 miles an hour, and it looks like it's finding its bearings here. I think he's coming directly back to us, and it doesn't look bad. I'm kind of amazed how good that screen looks. I hope that I've got some 4K footage so I can really see how good this video is, because on the screen, on the FPV screen, it looks really good. Let me pull the camera down a little bit. He's almost about 600 feet away. The signal's still perfect, and the feed's still excellent. So I wonder how close he's going to be to the home point. I would say he's probably not going to be too close because he was kind of blown away a little bit with the wind. I'm pulling the gimbal down myself, but I'm going to go nice and slow with the gimbal. So I've got a little bit of control with the gimbal. That's not too bad. Pull the gimbal all the way down and see where he's what he's looking at exactly. So it looks like he's pretty close, right over top of us. And I guess whenever he orients himself back to the orientation that he was whenever he took off. So he's a little ways off of the home point there. He's a little ways off of that landing pad. And he's coming down. This doesn't have precision landing, so I wasn't expecting him to land on the pad. But it looks like the further down that he's getting, the closer he is to the pad, which is good. So let's go to the GoPro. We can see him in the sky, how good or how solid he is. Doesn't look bad at all. Coming down nice and slow with the controlled landing. He's only like 3 or 4, maybe 5 feet away from that landing pad. See how he hits. He hit nice and soft. That wasn't bad. And she told us that he landed, and all is well. I got to say, buddy, that was pretty impressive. Where'd you learn these tricks? All right, let's get him put back on the landing pad there. And what's the next thing that we need to test? Whoops. I know what I got to do. I got to figure out how to do cruise control. So far, I'm impressed. Let me try to find cruise control here. I'm having trouble finding the cruise control in here, but one thing that I did notice, it didn't ask for a compass calibration. That's kind of strange. Normally, drones like this ask for a compass calibration every time you turn them on. All right, I found it here. So it says cruise control. It's on page 56 and 57 of the manual. It says, set the desired auto flight distance and altitude. Fly the aircraft to an altitude of 45 feet. It will be unavailable while below 49 feet. Keep toggling the left or right joystick to operate the aircraft forward, backward, ascent, or descent. Then press the remote controller's one-key takeoff landing button. I don't know if I like that. You got to hit a landing or launch or land button in order to... What if I'm over water? All right, I guess we got to give it a try. So on the controller, this is the one-touch launch or land button. So I guess whenever he's out there flying, I've got to tap that button and cruise control should take over. So let's get this started. Let's go back to the main screen here. I'm going to get the drone up in the air and we'll get him hovering just for a second so we can make sure that he's got his bearings. I'm going to raise him up a little bit more though, just because last time he was low, it seemed like he wanted to hover quite a ways, or he wanted to move around quite a ways. He looks pretty solid there. He's moving just a little bit forward, but in the distance of the drone there, I don't know if you guys can see that plane, he's at least 5,000 feet up. So I don't think he's going to be in any danger. All right, so let's get this drone up in the air. I don't like it when I don't have names for my drones. What are we gonna, let's call him Gary. We'll call him Gary for now. There are some birds that are over there that are kind of big, so we want to avoid them. So we'll go up, say 120 feet or so, and we're just gonna do this flying. Let's do this. Let's go sideways. Let's fly sideways and see if we can get the cruise control to kick in, because again, not being a very good drone pilot, I have to rely on cruise control and different ways to fly, not necessarily straight forward or straight back. But if we can go sideways, those birds are soaring. You guys see those birds? They're going right towards Gary. This is not good. I think they're plotting something here. Anyway, I guess I need to stay focused. So let me turn Gary to the left here, maybe to keep his eye. Look how nice and slow and controlled that is. Let me pull the gimbal down a little bit. That is nice. I really think that we can get some nice footage for this. Oh, look in the upper right-hand corner there where it says that we've got, it says that it's recording. It's got 3 minutes and however many seconds on that. That's nice. So now it's saying that it's recording at least. So let me pull it further to the left here. And we're gonna fly straight to the right, the bird's left. And we're gonna toggle that button and we're gonna hit cruise control. And see if we can get some really nice cinematic type footage. All right, man, start moving to the right. Okay, so he is now moving to the right. He's above 49 feet. All the criteria are met. I'm gonna tap that button.
Flying in cruise speed.
Oh, she said that he's in cruise speed. That is cool. So can I control his up and down while he does that? Am I going up? Yeah, I'm going up. And I can control him down. Wonder if I can control his yaw. I'm trying to, yep, I can control the yaw. So he's still moving out at 12.5 miles an hour, and I'm able to control the yaw too. So now we're facing backwards. Oh, see that? He's still flying sideways.
Flying in cruise speed.
That's cool. So I can, he's still flying sideways, but I can change his direction like that. So now he's over to my left instead of in front of me. Oh yeah, now he's got the pond. That's cool right there. So let me pull the gimbal down a little bit more. Yeah, we can get some nice footage this way. This is looking really good. Wow. Look at how clear the screen is. I can't get over how clear that screen is. Man, I'm gonna stop the cruise speed because he's kind of getting away from me now. He's over there to the other side. So let me hit cruise control disabled. And there was a bird that went right in front of him. So he's just I'm gonna have him fly straight back to us. Did you guys see that bird? All right, well, I've got him pretty much right over top of me. I never did test to see if he had that flow sensor at the bottom that would keep him up 3 feet or so from the spot. I'll pull the gimbal up. He comes down slow, doesn't he? He's not in a hurry. A little bit more. Come towards me, bud. There you go. You're supposed to have that sensor. Yeah, that sensor doesn't do anything as far as moving him up and down like a lot of other drones, but I guess it's just to kind of show him how high he is above, or actually if he's still moving, I think is what it's for. I'm not exactly sure on that stuff. I'm not much of a, almost got me. I'm not much of a technical guy, am I? All right, so we'll see if you can if I can get you to land in my hand. So I think I'm not gonna have a problem with that at all. So I'm just gonna grab a hold of him and pull the stick down, and it worked.
Ready to fly.
That was easy. I'm kind of blown away here how nice this drone is to fly. That was pretty comfortable. The sticks seem really easy to use. It doesn't seem like they're really jerky at all. If you have a little bit of finesse, unlike me, you're probably going to get some really, really good footage out of this drone. I do want to hit this record button and see if that time, yep, the time disappeared. So I'm not sure if we got our recording started right away or if it kind of picked up later, like mid-flight. But I guess we'll know when we know. Well, guys, that about does it. Let me get the drone. Well, guys, that about does it for this test. What'd you think? Did you think that the Gleesfun G11PRO drone performed well? Do you think it's something that you'd like to learn more about? I'm not sure what that beep was. Well, if it is, make sure you check the link in the description. Gleesfun's provided us with a link that'll take you straight to their website. Click on that link, it'll take you straight to their site. You can learn more about it. Gleesfun, I want to thank you for reaching out to us and seeing if we'd appreciate, or seeing if we would like to fly your drone. I think that it was a positive experience, and I think that we're going to be able to get some really good cinematic footage out of this camera. So guys, as always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great week. God bless.